Welcome back and moving on to our second segment for today, talking about Luxor, one of the most beautiful cities here in Egypt. And in particular, we're talking about many developments taking place over there. And we know that Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli was inspecting all these developments and the preparations for the opening of El Kabash Road and many other places in Luxor. Over the phone, we have Mr. Waleed Batouty. He's a tourist expert, international expert. Hello. Hello? Hello? So I think Mr. Waleed will be with us soon. And as I mentioned, we're talking about Luxor. And we have always talked about Luxor as being one of the beautiful sites on the Nile River and also as an open-air museum. Over there, we have many temples, many important temples. And to anyone who is interested to find out more about the ancient culture, history, and civilization, definitely Luxor, Aswan, all these places are on the top of the sightseeing sites. So Luxor in particular, over there, we have many important temples. But back to Mr. Waleed Batouty. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
How are you? Good morning, sir. I was talking about Luxor as being an open-air museum, and definitely all the developments and the preparations for the new El Kabash Road taking place over there will add to this.
It will definitely add. Look, we have seen His Excellency, the Prime Minister of Egypt, and His Excellency, the Minister of Tourism and Antiquity, going for the preparation, and this shows very much how the country is interested in putting all the effort to make the opening worth seeing from the whole world. Now, what happened is this avenue of sphinxes that connects the Temple of Karnak and the Temple of Luxor, in years it has been unveiled or removing all the dirt from on top. And people have always been asking, this is going to look excellent, this is going to look beautiful. When you bring it back, actually what you're doing is you're reviving what happened in ancient Egypt time. You're bringing the temple. See, for years and years, the city of Luxor was sitting on top of this avenue of sphinxes. Now, a tourist can walk from the Temple of Karnak to the Temple of Luxor through the avenue of the sphinxes, doing maybe the same thing that they used to do. So to be able to bring this back and do it again, it is very interesting. Now, what got my attention yesterday, I saw His Excellency Prime Minister of Egypt climbing the ladder and going up to the conservatives of the Ministry of Antiquity and Tourism, and he's up there checking the details of what is going on. That is very, very interesting, and that's a very positive sign to those who is keeping an eye on Egypt and following the news of Egypt and trying to follow what happened and what's going on in this country. Now, I'm expecting that this is going to be a big event. It probably would be on the same level of the parade of the golden mummies, you know. So this is going to add a lot, and this also will add to Luxor. Luxor has a discovery almost every day or every week. Now, this is not just we're revealing all the sphinxes, but we're restoring them, and we're opening a walkway between the two sites. Now, this is something to be done for tourists in the afternoon, by sunset, in the evening, is to walk from one temple to the other. That means crossing the whole city of Luxor from the Temple of Karnak. In my opinion, a tourist can go and visit the Temple of Karnak and maybe would sit somewhere and have a coffee or tea and then start to walk all the way to the Temple of Luxor and be able to visit the Temple at Luxor nighttime, because the Temple of Luxor stays, the Temple of Karnak closes at 5, the Temple of Luxor closes at 9, so there is 4 hours different in time, and this is something to be added. instead of riding a bus or going in a caleche. But this is a new thing. They can walk. There's a lot of people, they like to walk. They go back home and they'll say, I've walked between the Temple of Karnak and Luxor. It's a great value. It's a great ad. And it's good to have an event and announce it. I hope they make a beautiful event because all these new announcements, it aggravates the people around the world and makes their passion to come to Egypt more and more, even though the pandemic that is going around the world. But this started really not to stop people. There is lots of people, they say, that's it, I can't wait anymore. I want to go to Egypt, I want to go to Egypt. And the more we put any of these things, the more we have people that wants to come to this country.
You know, sir, talking about, when we talk about such important developments and projects taking places in the field of tourism and antiquities, well, usually the event, when it comes, it attracts the whole world. But now what we can see is that the preparations and the projects, while being implemented, actually they are attracting the attention of the whole world, the foreign and international media. How do you see this? How can we use it more and more?
Look, the idea of using it more and more, I hear it a lot in the media. Now, social media reaches almost everyone on the spot on his phone. So, thinking of using this in promotion, all what we need to do is we do a coverage. All what we need to do is to allow media to be able to do documentaries and stuff like this, and lower the restriction on the media people to cover this event. But this event will push the people, look, what's the news around the world today? The news around the world today, the head news is Afghanistan and the pandemic, of course, the COVID-19, and what is happening here and there, and few financial issues, okay? And those who are sick of this sad news in general, they are trying to find anything new. What they're trying to find new is we gave them in saying, hey, we've unveiled the Avenue of the Sphinxes, which extends between the Temple of Karnak and the Temple of Luxor. It is for 3 kilometers. It is how many sphinxes between, it tells history. You're giving them something new to divert their attention from COVID-19 or from this or that, or from the test, or from the PCR, or all of these things. They don't want to think about these things. People now are trying to do anything. Look at the new tourism that started to happen in Europe. You know, in Europe, people now started to rent a caravan and started to travel between the mountains, between the countries of Europe. It is my family. We are all locked in one caravan, and we are doing natural. We're going between forests, we're going between gardens, we're going between countries, we're using highways, we're eating in different restaurants, or even cooking our own food. But that's, people are making a new thing. They just want to get out. It's almost now 3 years, people are locked down. People are, they really, they need the travel. The travel is not for the sake of fun or traveling. The travel is a healthy thing for them, if they want to change. They get fed up with all the bad news. So it's good that we feed the world positive news from Egypt, that we're building roads, that we're building new cities, that we're building new capitals, that we're doing this, we're doing that. And we're showing that life's still going on, and we are not held by this pandemic. At the same time, you're showing the world that we are restoring all the monuments of Egypt, and we're even finding new stuff more. We're doing discoveries, we're doing documentaries. I have seen to Dr. Zay Hawass that he was giving lectures in Russia a month ago. Now I see him that he was in the United States of America. We're trying as well to entertain the world by giving them our news as a different thing. We're not talking about anything that is sad. We're talking about finding treasures. We're finding discoveries. We're trying to find or locate the tomb of Alexander the Great. We're doing this new researches and things like this. The whole world, not just Egypt, the whole world needs some positive things like this. When we did the parade of the golden mummies, I have received tourism. I have received people. They told me, as I was with them on base of one-to-one, they said, Waleed, we couldn't wait. You know, we were always planning to delay a little bit. And then we asked people, look, this is very important. We asked people and they said the pandemic issues in Egypt is very much in control. The hotels have done a great success of promoting themselves. And the Ministry of Tourism, the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquity, they did a great job of showing that all hotels are following the right measurements and everything. So people will be safe in the hotel. Now, what they're going to do when they go out, they need to put a mask and everything. Now, there is no guides to work with tourism, okay, unless they are vaccinated. And yesterday and today, the syndicate of all the guides of Egypt, with the cooperation with the Ministry of Health and Dr. Hala Zayed, thank you very much. They have vaccinated some tour guides yesterday at the syndicate and again today, and there will be more and more, okay? So the country is moving forward. I just want the people, I give them an advice, try to be positive, try to see the positive side. So life can go by and life can go on, but if people sit and start to moan and complain, they will not see anything. They will not see any progress, and it's right there, right under their nose, but they don't see it. We have to be positive. We have to be cheerful. We have to get on. Every human being in this world have had a great loss within the past 2 years. Maybe an aunt, maybe an uncle, maybe a father, maybe a brother, maybe a sister, maybe a grandfather. Everyone had something. We've all heard some very bad news here and there, but we need to get on with our life. We need to be very cheerful, and we need to get on with our life.
Right. Mr. Waleed Batouty, international tourism expert, thank you very much, and have a lovely day. And with this, we come to the end of our breakfast show for today. Thank you all for joining us. Stay tuned for more coming up on Nile TV International.